Dear brothers and sisters, let us continue the book reading Reality at Dawn, written by Babuji Maharaj, chapter Ways and Means. Total absence of sufferings and miseries in life is, however, impossible and unnatural. In fact, they are rather meant for our betterment. They are just like bitter pills of medicine given to a patient to restore health. The misuse of even the best thing creates trouble. So is the case with miseries. Proper utility of everything at the proper time and in the proper way is sure to bring forth good results in the long run. Miseries are really our best guide, which make our path smooth. To a man in ordinary sphere of life, miseries are very helpful for his making. Referring to domestic troubles and miseries of a worldly life, my master used to say, our home is the training ground of patience and endurance. To endure calmly the adversities of a household life is for us the greatest penance, which is the noblest of all other forms of penances. What we have therefore to do under the circumstances is not to give way to the feelings of anger or grief, but to assume an unquestioning attitude, thinking that we ourselves are in the wrong, for which we have to forbear with a cool mind. Solitary life in a forest and aloofness from all worldly concerns may be to some the means of cultivating patience and forbearance, but to us the taunts and rebukes of our friends and relations is the greatest penance and the surest means of success. In fact, to put up coolly with miseries and troubles contributes much to our betterment. Hence, they are valuable assets to our progress. It is only their wrong use that we spoil their effect and thus get deprived of their best advantages. Here, Babuji Maharaj is saying that total absence of sufferings and miseries in anybody's life is highly impossible, and also it becomes unnatural. In fact, they are rather meant for our betterment. That means they help us to mold our living. Babuji Maharaj is comparing the sufferings and miseries with the bitter pills of medicine given to a patient to restore his health. We all are having the experience of consuming those bitter pills during our illness, and invariably we have to take those pills, otherwise we will not recover from that illness. So similarly, these sufferings and miseries are like bitter pills of medicines. Why these miseries and sufferings are making us sorrowful is its misutilization. Sometimes even the best things, when they are misutilized, creates trouble, isn't it? So is the case with miseries also. Proper utilization of everything at a proper time and in a proper way brings us good results in the long run, isn't it? So miseries are really our best guide, which make our path smooth. Because of our miseries, our internal condition will be molded in such a way that the ahankara within us starts getting melted, and totally we will be refined and makes us perfectly suitable for our spiritual journey. Referring to domestic troubles and miseries of a worldly life, Babuji Maharaj's master, Lalaji Maharaj, used to say the following sentences. Our home is the training ground of patience and endurance. There is no need to go anywhere to learn patience and endurance. Just our home is the training ground of it. And then to endure calmly the adversities of a household life is for us the greatest penance, which is the noblest of all other forms of penances. That's what Lalaji Maharaj is saying. See, if we endure calmly whatever the adversities that come in our life, that becomes the greatest penance. So, what we have, therefore, to do under the circumstances, because many people will get angry and feel grief also. For that, Lalaji Maharaj is saying that should not give way to the feeling of angry or grief, but assume an unquestioning attitude, thinking that we ourselves are in the wrong, for which we have to forbear with a cool mind. That means we should think that it is our mistake. Because of our mistake only, I am suffering now. The reason behind my suffering is my own defect or mistake. And further, Lalaji Maharaj is saying that solitary life in a forest and aloofness for all worldly concerns may be to some the means of cultivating patience and forbearance, but for us, we, the Abhyasis or the spiritual aspirants, the taunts and rebukes of our friends and relations is the greatest penance and the surest means of success. See, always what we will do, if somebody taunts us or rebukes us, we start feeling bad about that person. And we will question why I have been blamed by that person, even though no mistake of mine. Like this, we put our life into complication. Instead of that, if we feel that the taunts and rebukes of our friends are doing a great help, and bearing all those things is the greatest penance, then our problem will be solved easily. So, Lalaji Maharaj is saying that, in fact, to put up coolly with miseries and troubles contributes much to our betterment. Hence, they are valuable assets to our progress. So, it is only their wrong utilization will spoil their effect and thus get deprived of their best advantage. So, here, dear brethren, we have to note that all the sufferings and miseries are the greatest boons of God. And if we utilize it properly, we will be more advantageous. Otherwise, we are the people who will create the complicated life. Further, what Babuji Maharaj is saying, renunciation or non-attachment is no doubt essential stage in realization, and we can never be free from the entanglements of Maya unless we cultivate non-attachment. But it does not mean serving our connection with home the family, and all worldly concerns, and taking up the life of a religious mendicant. I do not agree with those who hold the view that the only means of cultivating non attachment is to get away from home and family and retire to a solitary corner, discarding all worldly ties. Renunciation effected by such forced means is seldom found to be genuine. For it is just possible that, in spite of their apparent forced detachment from the world, they may still inwardly be clinging to it. No doubt, as a householder, we have to look after many things. We have to support our family. We have to provide for the education of our children. We have to look to their wants and necessities. We have to protect them from heat and cold, from troubles and sickness, and so on. For these necessities, we earn and possess money and property. The real evil is only our undue attachment with things which we are associated with. This is main cause of our sufferings. But if we are able to do everything in life, thinking it to be our duty without any feeling of attraction or repulsion, we are in a way free from worldly ties and have renounced the world in the true sense. Although we possess and make use of many things, everything we possess shall then seem to be a sacred trust from the Supreme Master for the discharge of the duties entrusted to us. Renunciation truly means non-attachment with worldly objects and not the non-possessing of things. Thus, a household life in which possession of things and worldly ties are indispensable is no impediment in the way of renunciation and consequently of realization. Only if one is not unduly attached to the objects he is connected with. There are numerous examples of saints having attained the highest degree of perfection, leading a household life all through. Renunciation is in fact a condition or an inner state of mind which brings to our view the transitory and changing character of things and creates a feeling of non-attachment with such object. His eyes are fixed every moment on reality which is unchanging and eternal, and he is free from feeling of attraction and repulsion. This is Vairagya in a true sense of the term. When we have achieved this state of mind, we are free from desires. We feel contented with what is available to us. The end of desires means the stopping of the formation of sanskaras. What remains now is only to undergo the effect bhog of the previously formed sanskaras, impressions, which are to be worked out during the course of our life. Nature too helps us in the work by creating field for bhog in order to remove the impressions of our thoughts and actions from the causal body. When those coverings melt away, we begin to assume finer forms of existence. Here, Babuji Maharaj is saying about the renunciation or non-attachment. Renunciation or non-attachment is no doubt essential stage in realization of God, and we can never be free from the entanglements of Maya until and unless we cultivate non-attachment, that is renunciation, vairagya. But it doesn't mean that detaching ourselves with home and family and all other worldly activities forcefully is renunciation. Babuji Maharaj is saying that I will not agree with such people who support this kind of feelings and prejudice. Renunciation, which is effected by such forceful means, of course, will prove genuine in the beginning, but the person who renunciated his family forcefully externally may still be inwardly attached to it. If that is the case, then how it will be called as renunciation, isn't it? Just externally you left everything, but internally still you are connected with that. Then it is not a renunciation at all. No doubt, we are all householders. We have so many responsibilities of our family, friends. We have to fulfill their requirements. We have to take care of them when they fall sick. And for this, we have to earn money. So, in this direction, we start earning money and start possessing so many properties. With all these things, actually, there is no problem. But where the problem lies is, Babuji Maharaj says that the real evil is only our undue attachment with things which we are associated with. This point we have to underline. Because possessing everything is not a problem, but developing undue attachment towards it is the real evil. So this is main cause of our sufferings. But how to overcome this? How to overcome this undue attachment? Babuji Maharaj is saying that if we are able to do everything, all our activities and household work in our life, thinking it to be our duty, without any feeling of attraction or repulsion, or likes or dislikes, if we do it, we are in a way free from worldly ties and have renounced this world in the true sense, although we possess and make use of many things. So this is very important. Then what happens? Whatever the things that we possess, it becomes a sacred trust bestowed by our Supreme Master. Discharging all our worldly duties becomes the sacred duty of our Supreme Master. So, Babuji Maharaj is saying that renunciation truly means non-attachment with worldly objects and not the non-possession of things. Thus, a household life in which possession of things and worldly ties are indispensable is no impediment in the way of renunciation and consequently of realization. Only if one is not unduly attached to the objects he is connected with. This is very important. See, Babuji Maharaj has told us to lead our Grihastha life. We should not take it granted. Babuji only told that to lead a Grihastha life, we can do whatever we want to do. Just practice. It is not that. Here, Babuji Maharaj is saying that being a Grihastha, leading a household life, even after possessing so many things, but what one should have internally, the non-attachment, that is, no undue attachment to the objects he is connected with. Then only this Grihastha life is not an impediment in the way of renunciation and consequently of God realization. There are numerous examples of saints having attained the highest degree of perfection, leading a household life all through. Then, how to detach ourselves or to attain renunciation is the question, isn't it? Here, Babuji Maharaj is saying that renunciation is in fact a condition or an inner state of mind which brings to our view the transitory and changing character of things and creates a feeling of non-attachment with such objects. If we start feeling that these objects around us are changing and it is not immortal, then slowly we start feeling a sort of non-attachment towards it, isn't it? When we fix our eyes every moment on reality, which is immortal and unchanging, eternal, then we will be free from the feeling of attraction and repulsion towards the things which belongs to us. Then the state of vairagya or renunciation in a true sense will creep within us. When we have achieved this state of mind, we are free from desires. We feel contented with what is available to us. We are satisfied with what we are getting. Then what happens? The end of desires. That means the stopping of the formation of sanskaras. Then what remains now in our life once all the formation of samskaras will stop? It is only to undergo the effect of bhog of the previously formed sanskaras or impressions, and these are to be worked out during the course of our life. For this, nature too helps us by creating field for our bhog in order to remove the impressions of our thoughts and actions from the causal body. When these coverings melt away, then we begin to assume finer forms of our existence. So this is the result of renunciation or non-attachment. So dear brethren, with this let us conclude today's satsang and let us know more aspects in the forthcoming satsang. Till then I take leave. Pranams. Namaste.